3 uncles raped that girl on the graveside of her parents.
No.
That was a ritual. That was a cleansing ritual.
This child is a child. She gives birth to this child. So now, once the child gives birth, so now we have the child who is the mother and the child.
Yes.
As the children now live within the wings of compassion, what happens briefly to this child that is born? So when it's like they come to the age of going to school, what happens to this child that has been born to this child?
Yes, we call it a home for children with babies. Because it's a child having a baby. When the child attains the age of going to school, remember she is also a human being. So we take the child to school. So when you hear a girl came to Wings of Compassion when she was in grade 8 or Form 1, by the time she's in Form 4, also the child is in school. So we have the parent going to school and also the child going to school.
Okay. And then how then, okay, now this child probably within the Wings of Compassion, they get to the age of maturity. What happens to them when they become of age? Do they still continue staying within the rescue center, or do they transition to the world? How do we release them to the world?
Exactly. Wings of Compassion, I said, is a rescue home. It's a legal rescue home because we are here with the laws of Kenya. And one of the Children's Act, in the Children's Act, one of the children's right is to live in a family setup. But Wings of Compassion is an institution. Number 2, a child has a right to identity. So number 1, already that child has a right to identity. Number 2, it's a children's home, not an adult home. So already when you attain the age of 18, because of the situation, then we reintegrate you back to the community, back to your people, back to the society. How do we do it? 1, as they come into the home, I as a social worker, I continue following up. What is happening with the home? Can they accept this girl back? Is it possible? Is there hopes? Remember, our mission was to make this girl self-empowered. So after Form 4, whatever grade you get, it will determine where you're going. That is number 1. We have a girl at Strathmore University doing IR. We have a girl at CPA Center. We have so many of them in DVETS, the KIST, the Word of Faith and so on, doing different courses. That is one way of empowering them to do a course, to join university, to do at your ability. The government has given the government is doing facing off children's homes because they don't want us to be homes. They want us to be transitions. If a case is found, then placement, then we follow up. How can we still take this girl back to her people or to the community, to the family of origin? Family of origin does not mean where I was born. Family of origin can mean where I call a home. Kwetu. That is why the government is coming up with alternative care, apart from institutionalizing children. Alternative care. Alternative care that is about adoption, foster care. There's so many. There are guardianship, kingship, and so on. This girl who was defiled by kingsmen, do we take her back? Because by the end of the day, whatever we are going to do is for the best interest of the child. Are we going to take this girl back to the kingsmen who defiled her? Are they ready to accept her? Is she safe when she's back? So what we do, there is also another alternative care which we do most. It is called supported independent living. So we reintegrate them to the society. We rent houses within the home, outside the home, but within our area of reach. We rent houses. They leave the home. They exit the home with their children. Remember, that child has a right to identity.
Exactly.
So the girl at the age of 17, 18, the moment you're done with Form 4, we release you to the community. Okay. But remember, it is supported independent living. So you are living independently, but fully being supported by Wings of Compassion. Okay. Until you are empowered enough, you are done with your university, you have gotten some job. Now you can stand on your own. Now our grip start getting loose. Okay. Gradually. But not completely, because as a social worker, I'll continue monitoring and doing evaluation of how you are coping with the society. Okay. And gradually, these girls, now they are integrated with their families and their people through indirectly, because they are empowered and nobody can come and, you have to do this, you have to do this. No, she can say a no and a yes. Through what I've passed through what I've seen, the girls at Wings of Compassion going through, and also the community as a large, because I don't just work as a social worker at Wings of Compassion. I love the community. Maroroi community is so good, and not just Maroroi community. I can work even nationally. I have a CBO, and I am the CEO of that CBO. My CBO is called Tujijenge na Mbao Initiative. Tujijenge na Mbao Initiative is a CPO that focuses on financial literacy. The work of CBO, it is to train people on financial literacy, again on savings, and again to the young people, because my very youngest client is my daughter who is 11 years. So I target the young group. Tujijenge na Mbao, as I said, Mbao is 20 bob, not Mbao ya kujenga. 20 bob, 20 shillings. My logo has 20 shillings. Tunasemanga mbao moja tu can save a life. How did I come with it? I come up with it. Wherever I work at Wings of Compassion, I found that the girls, they go to school quite a bit far. So they use the public means. They are given fare to go and fare back. 20 bob back. So they have 40 shillings. And because of peer pressure, these girls at times, they walk to school, they come back walking. So the 40 shillings to an 11-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, when by the end of the week, she might be having 200 shillings. And you find it is surplus. And because she does not know where to take the money, then you find this girl because she's in secondary school, the same peer pressure can cause her to can force her to join into drugs. Remember, she has been in a situation where now being influenced into drugs is very easy. So I came up with this CBO where they start saving. Even the women in the community, those people who think that they earn very little money, you cannot earn less than 20 bob. So that little money that you earn, can you just save 20 shillings? We use the lock savings account. We use the Mikebe for the small children who don't have phones. And you'll find now the competition into the Tujijenge na Mbao is how much will I save by the end of the term. So I have already curbed drug abuse at Wings of Compassion. Because before this girl thinks of going or coming on the way eating, we call them chips mwitu. Before thinking of joining, because they have a lot of the 200 to a small child is it's surplus. It's a lot of money. They don't know what to do with it. But instead, I train them on how to save. So even when they exit from Wings of Compassion, savings, or when they get their own job after going through school and so on, the saving will not be a problem. This holiday, when we were doing we sat down every end of every holiday, we sit down and ask who is number one. So you'll find everybody is running, and it was a shock that a girl who was there for she's there for like 6 years, telling me that unajua utashtuka nikikwambia I have 10,000 savings. And probably Esther, a mother, with all my many years, I have many by the way, with all my many years, I might not be having that amount. So what am I instilling in the brain of this girl? That she should develop a saving culture. That is all about Tujijenge na Mbao. Mama Fua, Tujijenge na Mbao. Watu wa Nduthi, Tujijenge na Mbao. Watu wa Mjengo, Tujijenge na Mbao. That's where we are. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. That is really, you stabilize these girls, they become adults, they become strong, and now they can make their own decisions.
Yes.
That is beautiful and wonderful.
Thank you.
From a very dire situation, and a child becomes somebody.
Yes.
That is good. So, as you do this work that you're doing, what kind of like challenges do you face? In a very brief way, so that at least our viewers can hear probably where they can plug in, you know, because honestly you're doing a very good job.
Thank God. Most of the challenges, because we don't have problems, these girls pass through problems. So we pass through challenges. Most of the challenges are materially. I've said we take them back to school. Currently, we have 30 girls and their children. One is a twin mother. Others are waiting to become mothers. Wanasemanga I'm a soon becoming mom to junior. So the junior hata jina side. They are teenagers. Challenge number 1, number 2, number 3. Food. So you find I've never seen Wings for the time I've been at Wings of Compassion, almost 10 years now. I've never seen surplus food. Ilipaka ikuwa mingi zaidi. No. Again, there is the challenge of school fees, where you find that if all these girls are going to school, we take them to day school, strictly day school, so that the situation that you give birth to your child, we cannot separate you with the child. You go for boarding. By the end of the day, the bonding will get loose. But when you come in the evening, you go back, you come back. During holidays, you're with your child, then you bond very easily. So, the school fees, both the mother and the child. We thank God because by yesterday, we have gotten our own place. Utility was a problem.
Wow.
But utility won't be a problem anymore.
Wow.
Because there's a God in heaven.
We thank God.
He is a donor. We currently do not have a permanent donor. We have donors who come and go.
Well wishers.
At times promise. They don't fulfill. But we have well wishers. But I can't forget to say we have this permanent one. A permanent donor. Our God in heaven.
Amen.
Who sent Akina Jane. Who sent Akina Sam. Who sent people to come and stand with the girls. Teenage, they do feed a lot. And they are mothers. You can imagine. So those are the major challenges. Again, on the psychosocial support, we need to empower this counselor, at least through a pay. We also have the challenge of salaries and wages, where we need to have, when the girls are at school, like those 4 girls who are joining, who will join school this coming May. I think all of them, their children are around 4 months. So a lot of care must be given to these children, the caregivers. So the wages and the salaries are quite high. Yes.
And now also the issue when these children, you mentioned about when the kids, girls become age of maturity and they need to transition.
Yes.
That part also.
Yes. Yeah. That is another big challenge for we call them exit group.
Yeah.
I have a WhatsApp group for them. Currently, because we started doing this seriously in 2023. 2023 we exited 7. 2024 we exited 7. This year we are going to exit 5. Those are 14 plus 5. There are 19 of them. So you can imagine providing food for them, school fees, and upkeep. It's quite challenging.
Okay.
Also, there is rent. This is a separate rent from what we pay in the rescue center. So each individual will require rent, and they are mothers. We don't want them now to start begging and going back to the same problem they had when they were coming to our home. Okay. Another challenge comes in when I have a girl like who had done IR, reaching out to get attachment. It's becoming a problem. We are praying God to give us a channel on how we can go through it. When one does this, at least you have somewhere to place her for attachment, and eventually maybe adopted in the same company and empowered. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Esther. I know it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And I know I'm sure there's much more that you have left out because of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that our viewers have listened and they've heard. And I know for sure, maybe I don't know whether there is a way they can contact you. Maybe you can repeat where you're found. And I don't know if you have a number through which they can, access if they need to reach out to you. Maybe they would like to come and actually, because you allow physical visits, right?
Yes.
So that they can come and, maybe there are people who would like to come and visit you and just give also their side of their support.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Ministry of Presence,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, in whatever form it takes.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, our home is called Wings of Compassion Rescue Home. It's in Maroroi. Maroroi is along the northern bypass on your way to Kahawa West. Act now, before we vacate to Mirema, not far.
Okay.
It's almost along Kamiti Road.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. We love visitors.
Mm-hmm.
We love well wishers.
Mm.
Thank you for the churches who have stood with us for quite some time.
Mm.
For the companies who do CSRs, for the individuals who come and do birthdays,
Mm.
you're welcome at Wings of Compassion.
Mm.
I have a contact. We have a contact person. That is me.
Mm-hmm.
My number is 0792
Mm-hmm.
08 1915.
Mm-hmm.
It is open
Mm.
24 hours,
Okay.
because at any point
Mm.
I'm ready to serve the community.
Thank you so much, Esther, for sharing with us
Mm-hmm.
your story. It is it touches somebody's heart to the core, and I know our viewers have heard. And our viewers, as we told you, we always bring you information regarding what is happening within the society. Maybe you're out there, maybe you know somebody who is also going through a challenge, maybe they're young teenagers. You can hear what goes on in the rescue centers. Maybe they can be rescued. It's all is not lost. So we thank you for watching. Thank you, Esther. Once again, you're doing a good job. May God bless you. And we just ask you that even as you hear this message, please share with others so that they may also come to this information and we see what we can do together collectively. Thank you so much for watching. Good night, or good morning, or good afternoon, whichever the case. We love you. Asante.